What's up, guys? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to be playing some Hateful Walkers. Today, we're trying to hate on meta a little bit, and this deck has been playing really well for me so far. I'm on a 6-win streak right now in playtesting. A new season has just barely started, so I am ranking up with this one. And I started ranking, and I was performing really well, and decided, I'm just going to go ahead and record a video as I'm ranking up. Tonight, I'm probably going to be playing through a bunch of decks to try to get up to Diamond or Mythic within the first couple of days here. I don't typically do that. I'm trying to push a little bit harder to make that happen. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, because that's something that is hard for me to do, because I just am someone that doesn't like to play the same deck over and over again. That's the reason why I play so many fun, interesting, cool decks, and I just build lots of different decks out there, a lot of different types of things to be playing, because I just don't enjoy playing the same deck over and over again, which is usually what is required to actually get to Mythic, up to Diamond, all that kind of stuff. This is a deck that I feel like could actually do that. And that's what I wanted to bring to you guys, because occasionally I don't bring those to you guys as often as I should, and here's a really good one. So right now in the meta, there is just a ton of enchantment decks, there's a ton of artifact decks, there's just a ton of decks that are putting out tons and tons of permanents on the battlefield, and so Farewell is just one of the most busted cards in the format. But you have to build a deck that is completely built around it to really make it work. And I'm kind of surprised no one's been doing that yet. And so this is my take on it. I really like going into red with this one, simply because Tibble is awesome. I think Tibble is such a good card in the late game. So I wanted to go towards black-red Planeswalkers, and then bringing in the Farewell as well just made Mardu make a lot of sense. There's definitely a reason to be going into blue instead of red, but Tibble is just been working really, really well for me and adds a lot to this deck, which also gives you Hidetsugu, which is one of the best board wipes. So first off, this deck is built around board wipes. Like I said, it's built around Farewell. 6 mana sorcery, choose one or more. You can exile all artifacts and all creatures and all enchantments and all graveyards. Exiling all of the things is fantastic, and it's really, really good in the format. Artifacts, enchantments, of course, really, really good. There's tons of token decks as well, getting rid of all the creatures. And there's also a lot of artifacts and enchantments that are creating lots of creatures, so getting rid of all of those so they just have to completely rebuild is a very big deal. And then we get to rebuild pretty easily by having a bunch of Planeswalkers on the battlefield that don't get exiled by Farewell, which is really, really cool. So that is the biggest thing that we're playing, is we're playing a Planeswalker tribal deck that is just hating on the format, that does works really, really well. Kaya the Inexorable, also a really good card that -3 exile target permanent. The real main reason I'm playing this is because of the -7, which I have been able to either get to, or people have scooped as I've been able to get to this like 3 times in the last 6 games I've played. Like, this is something that's actually happening fairly consistently for this deck, is getting to the ultimate, which is an emblem that says at the beginning of your upkeep, you may cast a legendary spell from your hand, from your graveyard, or from among cards you own in exile, which we exile a lot of things with this deck. Then exile the cards from a player without paying its mana cost. So you get a free spell you get to cast that's a legendary permanent, which, by the way, we have a lot of. Valki, we have Meathook Massacre if you want to. We have Mila, which actually really like this card. I initially had 2 copies of it, and I went down one copy to add in the Bloodchief's Thirst. I just needed something else in the 1-drop slot. Those are the only games I lost in the early game, was just not having something turn 1, turn 2, a little bit more stuff turn 1, turn 2, and then making sure I actually hit the lands to keep going on. Yeah, anyway, so we have a bunch of legends, a bunch of Planeswalkers, which of course are legendary, that can come back, and that means that all the things that we exile with Farewell, if things get exiled from the graveyards, are now playable by Kaya. By having them exiled as well, it doesn't really matter for us, and so we can freely exile graveyards with this deck without having any consequences whatsoever, and it is pretty awesome. Like, this deck is really, really cool how it works out, like where the Kaya Inexorable Ultimate is actually something that is working very well for me, which is kind of weird. And the cool thing too is that it works great with Valki. Valki is one of those cards that I want to be playing turn 2, but it's kind of annoying if it does die. People don't typically kill it right away though, because it's not high priority. So then you just put the +1 the token onto it so that it comes back to hand, or something with Mila. I was thinking about throwing in another creature that has some good ETB effects. So far I haven't needed it though. For the main reason, we're just trying to not play out too many cheap creatures, because Hidetsugu, we're going to destroy everything with 1 or less, which is all of the tokens that are made. Our deck does win by creating tokens with all of our Planeswalkers, but this is still just a great way to remove their stuff, have a creature of our own to hit back with, and we can put a token onto the creature, have it return back to the battlefield, or return back to hand with Kaya if we need to, which is really awesome. Anyway, so this deck is just really, really good. We have a lot of board wipes. Path of Peril, perfect, destroys creatures 2 or less. Tons of tokens, like I was talking about, tons of 1s and 2-drops. There's occasional 3-drops. Rip Apart destroys all of those. Fateful Absence destroys everything else as well. And this just it works out very well. Shadow's Verdict is probably the only card that I You know what? I'm not sure I really want it in here. We're gonna drop the Shadow's Verdict, and we're gonna go up. You know, I think I'm gonna go back up the Mila. I really like the Mila in this deck. I really don't like Luca, but Mila, just be able to draw us cards and also get loyalty counters on all Planeswalkers when they're attacked. It's good stuff. So anyway, that's the deck. Let's go and dive into the gameplay, see how it does for us, and wish me luck. Here we go. Up against Triploid X, and we have Path of Peril. We have some more removal. Valki, an early Valki, I like to use simply to get a look at their hand if I feel like I don't know what they're doing. And so yeah, that's sometimes the best use for Valki in the early game, especially because we do have 3 of them. We can run into some others later on. Sometimes it's not worth playing it too quickly. Path of Peril getting a little more expensive is annoying. Yeah, Thalia, one of the worst things against us. So Valki, we're gonna try to at least slow them down, take away their next best play. Brutal Cathar, good one. Wow, lots of spells. No, not too many creatures, which is kind of good for us. Pass the turn. We can also turn this into what's Brutal Cathar. It becomes a 3/3 with first strike, which does take care of a Thalia. And a 3/6 Sigil. So I just not playing anything next turn is okay. This being sorcery speed, we do have a lot of sorcery speed removal, which is very annoying. No blocks. They have tons of protection here. Down to 18. That's my turn. Yeah, we can't really cast anything else because everything is more expensive. So yeah, I guess we're just all in on playing this out, huh? Yeah, that's fine though. Yeah, pass the turn. Let's see. I need to turn it into a creature now, so that I have the ability to turn it to nighttime. It has to become day or night. Yeah. So if I turn it over the next turn, it wouldn't work. And so flipping over right now means that it will turn to night after I don't play anything this turn. They need to not have removal. And then I can end up taking the Thalia if I don't have it die at all. So we're going to say no attacks right now. Pass the turn. Thank you. I mean, they can give it hexproof over and over again, but that's kind of fine. As long as they're casting 2 spells and we're not casting any. Wait, it went to nighttime. Oh, it doesn't keep the other side? Forgot, the transform cards only allow one side of it. No blocks. Or transform. Does Valki, it becomes it. It doesn't transform into it, becomes it, which is a little bit frustrating. But we do get to play Path of Peril here. Dodging around their stuff and keeping Brutal Cathar alive now. Which is at least somewhat nice. They don't have... This is indestructible, right? Indestructible. Not quite as good. I could go aggro and just play Igneous Inspiration here. Could force him to play the protection. I'm not really blocking with this now. I forgot about the whole not turning to nighttime because of the way that becoming works. Yeah, it's annoying. It doesn't have a side to actually transform into. We know they have protection. Nothing's at sorcery or at instant speed, which is awkward. I can play out a Valki and see if they have anything else in hand, but they would have played it, right? So we just go for... Path of Peril is too good. We're gonna go for this. The issue is that then they get Snakeskin Veil. So let's just go ahead and go at face, I guess. We're just gonna learn how to play Magic, I guess. Being able to exile stuff would be great. So yeah, reduce the memory gets to exile that without any... nothing can really protect that. Or hexproof, I guess, can target stuff. Start from scratch could be okay. Maybe it's just environmental sciences, gain life, keep getting lands. I don't really know anything better to do at the moment. I mean, we're technically winning the race, right? They're down to 15. We're at 16. Life is good. So yeah, there's that. Okay, pass the turn. Down to 14. Bonus is going to hold on to those for forever, and we're kind of just okay with that. If we get to Valki, we get to exile it, and life is great. This costs a little bit extra, which is annoying. I can hold on to Hagra Mauling, slow things down a little bit. Just attack in first. I think I'm just going for the land. I've already played a land out. Not really a reason to be playing this. Even just Kaya on the next turn is still fantastic. Yeah, I can get hexproof. So I guess forcing him to spend the hexproof on the next turn for Hagra Mauling would be good. So pass the turn. They're going to be looking at the Wanderer as a possible, the Wandering Emperor. What is, yeah. As a possibility here on the next turn. We have 5 mana now. We have 2 white mana up. Swings it in. We're going to spend this just to try to get more cards out of their hand. If I can keep them away from playing Showdown of the Skulls because it costs more now, great. I don't want them to just be able to play that for free. We're not really threatened. Too bad. They have removal for our guy. He gains indestructible. Alright, so they still have hexproof, which is annoying. But we can go for Path of Peril if we want to. Just to kill Athalia. I mean, we're only taking 2. I guess I could trade off eventually as well. Alright, there's... Now Path of Peril becomes awesome. Yeah. Good stuff. I already played a land, right? Can't go for Environmental Science as well. I guess I can afterwards. So, Path of Peril. 4. Alright, you're both dead. Attack in. Do I want another Valki? If I take their only other creature, it could be good. Kiva Frost Dragon is something that's happening as well. Let's get up to 14. Be a little bit safer. Pass the turn. We have Hive with Eye Tyrant to be hitting in with as well, which still we're winning the race. I'm winning the race. I'm winning the race. Okay, lots of cards. Lots of good stuffs. Not good for us. But you know, whatever. 5 to 7. I mean, do they have anything with haste? We can take our other Valki until it comes back, right? So we're just gonna go for this. They just didn't find any of the creatures early game, or they just didn't have enough. I have no clue what they were doing, but we're just gonna start taking up Tybalt. How much do I believe they don't have anything with haste? We're gonna go in. Attack in. Fast turn. Whenever they cast a spell, things get better for them. I actually kind of want them to kill our Brutal Cathar here. Yeah, so them taking away this means that our Farewell gets better. That's all that really happens here is, oh sweet, we get the Valki back again to still whatever and take another peek at your hand or whatever. Aspirant, Cathar gets Biglier. Be able to cast their Brutal Cathar could be nice, so I want to Tybalt it first. That's a question. Let's go ahead and play out this land. Let's go ahead and play... I don't really have to kill their stuff now. Is it worth going for Farewell? You just go Kaya. Nah, we'll just do it. Okay. All things get exiled. Unfortunately, things get exiled here doesn't count as exiling for Tybalt, but we do get the Valki back. It's the battlefield. We get to take a peek at their hand. Taking their Redain is awesome, actually. Yeah, that's making all their stuff cost more. Ooh, yeah, that was good. Dude, this deck is sweet. It is really good. All right, interesting hand. No white mana, but I do have inspiration to go digging for stuff if I find a land. I'm on the draw. Have a board wipe on turn 3, something to do on turn 2-3. I can keep this one. It's a little bit awkward, but this is a keepable hand. For me, this is the other reason why I have a hard time ranking up, is that I just enjoy trying hands. Like, you know what? It'll be fun to try. And sometimes that's an awful idea, and other times it's the... we found white mana. Everything's fantastic. We found the land. Life is good. Hessig. I don't like that. All right, so get you out. Get out Valki. We definitely trade off with Kessig if we can, giving him something back to hand. Outland Liberator, sure. I mean, they get the Snakeskin Veil to be going with this. They might not have any creature. They might just not have anything to play. They do have something we could potentially Igneous Inspiration, so I guess we'll hold off for a little bit. No blocks. Not when we know they have a good way to answer it. No blocks, yeah. You're cool. So if it turns to nighttime, then the card underneath, does it get to transform into the nighttime card? I'm not sure how that works out. They don't play anything. Flips to nighttime. You know they have the Snakeskin Veil, which is a little bit annoying. Do I just get rid of it out of their hand while we can? I'm going to wait until their turn to make them spend mana there instead, but pass the turn. Path of Peril is a little bit awkward when we have Valki out on the battlefield. Gives them something back to hand. We're going to just say that they don't have anything to play for next couple turns, right? That hits in. I'm going to try to kill it on the end step. I'm going to take the damage here first and just see what else they got. Down to 15. Nothing. All right, so this is the awkward part. I can't actually Inspiration after I go Fateful Absence. I should have gone Inspiration last turn, I guess. Oops. Yeah, it's sorcery speed, man. This needs to not be sorcery speed. All right, cool. That's my turn. Mary's Cole tapped. Hit with Valki. I think we're just going Path of Peril here. We just need to get rid of a 4/4. They can have back a guy that gets enchantments, which we don't have in this deck at all. And that should be fine. Yeah, Valki dies. They get a card back to hand, which they haven't had creatures. Oh, well. We have Sorin the Mirthless. I could have played that as well, like ulting ourselves to get it out there. Decklist Stormseeker. Get some hastiness. Yeah, that's bad. That ain't great. To give it trample as well. Trample only if they have the other side stuff going. All right, let's get to... Yeah, Lolth could be good, but we're actually going to just do this. Igneous Inspiration. Grab Environmental Sciences. Gain the life. We have plenty of black mana, plenty of white mana. We're just going to grab white because I have more of it. I already played a land. That's turn. All right, gain some life. Down to 10. We have Farewell. We have all the things. Life is good. I think right now it's just... It might just be Sorin over Lolth. I mean, Lolth is better. I don't have double red yet. I think I only really need it for Shatterskull Smashing. Yeah, we play Lolth instead. The life gain could be really nice, but 2 blockers is better than 1, right?
You could have such power. Do what I demand.
Last turn. Tovolar. Alright, so this can give stuff trample, which is annoying. They can start drawing cards. If they go after Lolth, they don't get to draw, right? So we double block. They buff up its power, but not its toughness. Don't cast anything else out there. Lolth dies. Sad day.
Pity our time is over. And a gift in exchange for loyalty.
Is it just Farewell? Just for the Tovolar? Getting anything haste is the issue. I want to be able to dodge them playing hasty things and be able to actually kill that stuff. And so having just a blocker here is okay if they don't have much else off the top. Keeping them off of card draw is still pretty good. Do I get this out on the battlefield? If I find a red source, it's a good piece of removal with how many lands I have. So pass the turn. We are getting to a low enough life total that this can actually hurt us pretty bad. So, yeah, we're just gonna jump, gain some life. It does give itself trample. That's fine. If they're taking their turn doing that, I'm kind of okay with it. Holds on to 1 green source. All right, so Snakeskin Veil is probably in hand. Ooh, bolt myself, Valki. If they have Snakeskin Veil, it's bad. So now we Farewell, and we're just going to hold it on for the next turn. So, in graveyards as well. A little bit awkward with Valki. We actually sometimes want their graveyard to be full for that, but play this out tapped. 7th land. Valki on the next turn. And now they're top decking, which we're just going to steal their best top deck that could be here, and they're going to keep drawing lands, and that's how life works. Isn't life awesome? Yep, use their card for a red source. Why not? Pass the turn. And now I feel like we're in pretty good shape. They do have hasty stuff, which is annoying. Yeah, once we got Tibble, they really were top decking very bad that whole time. We found a land off the top there. I mean, they also had a ton of things that weren't creatures, which is weird. All we have is Igneous Inspiration. Let's just find our lands. I mean, if we can get to Farewell, we're on the play. This means that turn 4 we grab a land. Anything else we draw on the way. You know what? I said before that I just like to try to keep hands. And here we go again. We're doing it. And I'm on the play, which is just weird. Just weird for this deck. Do we have any new data for this one now? I think I have to exit out and come back in. All right, so there's black mana. We like that. It being on the play is just a weird thing for this deck. I'm not used to it. Where are my stats right now? I wanted to see how many times I'd been on the play versus not. Do I go for Igneous Inspiration when I'm not hitting anything? Just to find the lands? Not right now, right? We don't need to find lands. Yeah, we wait until we know what they're doing. All right, so let's check this out. Where's my Hateful Walkers? All right, so I did lose one game there. I'm not even sure if I'm going to show it because I dug 20 cards deep to try to find one of our like 10 board wipes and didn't find it. All right, so yeah, I've still, this is my next game on the play. So 3 games, I finally get one more on the play. About time. All right, so we're up against another control-y kind of deck. Right. Throw out Inspiration. Reduce the memory could be good. Any kind of Planeswalker is one of our biggest issues. So if anyone else is playing Planeswalkers, that's bad. Start from scratch, this destroys artifacts. I can get rid of some of their ramp right away. Not very great. Let's just grab a reduce the memory. It's more removal in our hand. We need more removal at some point. And the biggest thing with this is that it hits Planeswalkers. Those are the biggest things that we can't really deal with is the Planeswalkers. The other thing is the creature lands. As long as we have blockers for creature lands, ways to remove our Planeswalkers. All right, so this is kind of a mirror match, I'm guessing. This is the blue version I was talking about before, where you should probably go blue potentially. Well, there it is. Giving him a 3/2 to be hitting us with, and then potentially having counter spells for Farewell and whatnot. Not really the best, but I would rather them counter something here before we get Professor Onyx out in the battlefield. Yeah, well, it's best turn. Right, they're going, actually, wait, that's Professor Onyx. They're 4-color? 4-color walkers. That's probably why they have Celestis, right? Just to get the blood token. I throw that out there. All right. Counter spells is the biggest issue now. Getting rid of the Doom Scars, they're able to filter through their deck a little bit better than us. Bad stuff. They know we have to reduce the memory. Filtering through there. Only 2 mana. Not a ton of counter spells, counter stuff there. When they're going 4-color, I doubt they'll have like disruption and whatnot. They get a lot of card and discard, right? Draw and discard. Draw. I can't spoke right. All right. So Professor Onyx, a decent option for us here. Let's go on black mana there. Let's go Professor Onyx. Do they have the counter spell? All right, good. Good. All right, take up. This is at least a win con of sorts. Mila is not bad for some card draw against this deck. We saw some board wipes already. Fateful Absence destroys Planeswalkers, which we know they have. We already have answers for that. Let's go for the Mila. Why not? That's the turn. I mean, we got rid of 2 pretty good things there, which is a little bit annoying. Revitalize. The Lucas side of this I really don't like. So you can return creature card from graveyard to the battlefield. The that's only ever going to be Mila or Valki. I was debating if we needed some other stuff in this deck. I went up to 2 copies just before we started playing, and maybe I should go back down to 1 copy with this. It's okay, but it's not like the bustedest of cards. All right, opponent's just digging. Once we get to the ultimate with Professor, I mean, that's going to be sweet. I've got to have some sort of removal eventually, right? Like, I'm expecting Fateful Absence, something of that nature. This feels almost like a reanimation deck of some sort. Like, I really am just confused what they're doing. We're gonna tick up first. Look at the top here, see what we want to find this hand. Kaya's not bad. Valky's awesome if they still don't have counterspell. I mean, yeah, Tybalt's huge. I can get rid of their Celestis if I wanted to. I'm getting rid of the Kaya is a little bit annoying, especially when they're playing slow. But we're gonna try for this. They didn't have counterspell last time. I'm not getting out my Hive, which is a little bit awkward. Do I take this? Are they looking for just like black mana? We're gonna go ahead and just pick up more card advantage. I think will be better. Unexpected windfall. Okay. Just a lot of draw and discard so far. What are they trying to get into the deck? Is it maybe like Jin-Gataxias type of thing? A reanimation Jin? That's actually not a bad way to go. Jin reanimation is actually very terrifying. We have like the exact thing that answers it though, so we're kind of fine there. That would be a fun deck against most of what people are playing. Unexpected Windfall. So I've run up against a deck that has been doing this a lot, and maybe I just don't know what's going on really, but I've run up against several decks that just are just drawing and discarding, discarding, and they do that like, there's never anything else. Like, I don't know why. Like, I've run up against so many decks that just do that over and over again. They copy the spell to do it again. I feels like a Tasha's Hideous Laughter combo deck, but like that's also not what's happening. So I don't know. We need to start hitting. We need to start actually killing them somehow. I mean, the Professor Onyx, of course, is, I guess, win con number 1. Let's get out Hive. So we draw first, right? I guess Tybalt first. More good things. Farewell. I mean, if they're doing anything, Farewell's a pretty good card as well. I mean, we don't need more lands, so sure. Guess so. Oh man, what are we trying to do now? We're trying to win, so we need to get out these lands. So that land go. That's play number 1. I think we go for Mila as well. Which does mean I can't hit with Cave of the Frost Dragon. But let's go for Mila. And I think it's like Celestis. And maybe we just take a peek at their hand with Valki here. If they have a Jin, we'll just take it. You know, yeah, why not? Valki, go. We're going empty, or yeah. All tap down. Valki. What is going on here? Invoke. Return target permanent card. It's just permanent card. Interesting. Some sort of something going on past the turn. So they have reanimation. They have Vorinclex. Gotcha. With a ton of counters onto it. Oh. Sure. That's fine. So you gotta bring back. Oh, they have Vorinclex and they also have the Professor Onyx. We have plenty of cards to discard, which is kind of okay here. Life total's fairly high. We do take the damage from this guy though. All right, so that's the combo. I wasn't sure what was going on. It's Vorinclex and they got it the wrong order. Good job, sir. Good job indeed.
Even you can master death.
Did they actually have victory there? So we had 4 damage to block with. They go for the ultimate. We take 10. We're down to 7, and then we have to repeat it 7 times. We actually go to 4. So we survived just fine. Cool though. Up against Somersault and only Fateful Absence for the whole early game, but we're on to play, which is weird for me. We'll mulligan. We need to try to have at least 2 early game plays and red mana to make that actually work. Mulligan down to 5. See, this issue, I didn't want to mulligan down to 5 and have an even worse hand. The first hand was definitely keepable. This is awful. Keep this. We're dropping, I guess, anything that's not white mana at the moment. Yeah. Wow, okay. See, these are the games that you end up losing. Like, this is why a deck can't be 100% win rate, is because sometimes you just draw this. You know, it's all good. That's turn. We get to destroy whatever they play. I'm feeling enchantments. What are you guys thinking? Enchantments? I have no clue what's going on now. All right, go Mila. Pass the turn. Green, red. Orin Reef Ooze. All right, so it's the modifications deck. Gotcha. All right, so perfect time to draw that. Kill you. Now we can hold up instant speed stuff or whatever. Hit in for 2, and man, the clock is fast and it is hard, and we're gonna win with the 2/3. You better believe it. You better believe it. Oh, crap. That's bad. So bad. Well, we have removal for it at least. Last turn. I would love to have found a Wanderer or something there. Yeah, mulligan down to 5, this is awful. Like, not having the 2 extra cards that we really need here is bad. We would have been in, I think, fairly decent shape if I would have just kept the hand that I had. But, you know, whatever. So, cruise up the Chariot. We kill you before you make tokens. Ooh, sweet. They didn't have any kind of protection. I expected it here. Another Chariot. That's annoying too. All right, come on, board wipe. Hidetsugu's revenge here would be amazing. So pass to my turn. Wandering Emperor. That's another way to get rid of Chariot, but they still have a massive amount of creatures. So yeah, we'll pass the turn. It's not card draw. So here's an actually interesting play. So the Cryopeska's Chariot. I might throw out the Wanderer here before they actually attack. So here's the play. So then they send creatures towards Wandering Emperor. We get to exile the Chariot, we get to block the other one, and Wanderer gets 1 loyalty counter, which actually would keep it alive. Oh, wait, no, not if we exile, so yeah, okay. They go attacking. Fine, we'll do it a little different. Could kill the token. Is that better for us right now? No. Go Emperor. We have so many board wipes. We'll just draw into them eventually, right? We always do. Never do. It's gonna happen. It'll be fine. It's never fine. All right. Kill the Chariot. That's 2 Chariots down. Maybe, what is this? What deck is this? Orin Reef Ooze. Just enchantments and stuff. It could also be like Bard class. Okay, no, it's modification. Green-red modification, which is really good. Oh, I forgot what the 1 damage it does to Planeswalkers as well. That's annoying. Come on, deck. Dude. What the junk is going on? Now we have lots of expensive stuff, but we also have like so many lands. So this deck, I'm running 24 lands. Then I have tons of MDFCs. I think I have 4 altogether. I have Shatterskull Smashing. Cracks the Clue. I have Hagra Mauling. Maybe it's just 3. I had 1 other one. I don't remember where it was. Oh, and Emeria's Call. Somewhere. Yeah. Still, though, 27 lands. We should be finding lands quite easily enough. Do they just kick this? Kick your... They don't attack. Dude, what are they doing? They really should be attacking right now. It's really amazing to me that they're not. So we play out Kaya. They have Den of the Bugbear on the next turn. Them going wide is just really bad for us. Do I try to get them to attack Kaya, though, just to keep my life total higher? Like, if they have to hit for 6 here and they just forget about my face, I actually prefer that over anything else. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put the counter onto Maya, or Mila. No attacks. I also get the loyalty counter when it hits. So, like, if they have to spend an entire turn killing Kaya here, good stuff. That just gave us 6 life and a way to bring something back again if I need to. Exiling a permanent is good, but like when it's all of the exact same permanents, okay, that would have been a nice thing to kill. You know, that would have been great. Come on, land. All right, hits Kaya there. No modified creature yet. All right, let's see if they forget about the +1 that we get to it. Yeah, they're gonna forget. Is everything at face, which I mean is not great. And I will probably keep Kaya alive with the loyalty counter there. Yeah. Am I okay to take 7 to face though? Yeah, I am. Walk there. Especially if it means keeping Kaya for them to have to attack again. If they spend 3 more creatures there, that's again more life for us. Good stuff. Hopefully we can kill this Goldspan Dragon with the -3 here. They have to spend a card to kill this too. Oh my gosh. And they had to spend a card to kill it. And we're going to draw a card. Sweet. Dude, that could have gone better. Thank you, Kaya. Now we have removal for Goldspan Dragon. I mean, we're still not like in great shape, but yeah, we kill Goldspan Dragon. I had Crave of the Frost Dragon I could have held up there. Next turn though. So that chop the safety pin. That's awkward. No attacks. Pass the turn. All right, life total is still very, very low. The number of board wipes that we found has been 0. The number of modifications I've been able to make has been 0. That's a lot of damage to face. All right, so their best play now is just go straight at face. They get any target here with Raiju, which is a little bit scary. We get to get another blocker when we block with Mila, which is... Come on, board wipes. Our deck is literally built around board wipes. So they get the buff here because they have modified creatures. We are looking for board wipe anyway, so do we chump or have this when it gets exiled have something afterwards? So 8, 11. We got a 4. Yeah, block like that. We just, I mean, how many cards deep are we? We're 14 cards deep. So 15 cards, let's see. We have so many board wipes that just are amazing for this. Okay, not the best one, but still very, very good for us. All right, so play you out. This Thundering Raiju is still really scary. Luckily, we get to kill the one thing that they have modified. This guy sticks around, which is an issue. Don't have enough mana for the Cave of the Frost Dragon, which means we are dead. Ah, crap. Dude, you're just a turn too late, my friend. Dag nabbit. Dag nabbit. Let me say it again. No, I won't say it again. Yeah, good game. You got us. So dumb. Puts on to Den of the Bugbear. This guy gets the buff as well. Life is good. Yep. Dude, Modification I think is actually a fairly good deck. I don't like how they ran it, but we're all sorts of dead now. Bummer. All right, so 14 games. I ended up having 2 losses there. I think I'm only going to show one of them just because they both ended up having the same thing happen where the only way that we lose is mulliganing down to 5 cards and then drawing just all of our 6 drops when we have 4 lands, which I mean can totally happen with this deck. We have so many board wipes in the deck. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I used to have the Shadow's Verdict as well, which maybe I should go back up to 1 Shadow's Verdict to have more options for this. But like the number of board wipes that we have, as well as just good removal in general, good answers for everything in this deck. Like we deal with opponents things that they're doing so well unless they have a ton of haste and stuff. So I lost against a mono red deck that had just a ton of haste and it was hard to deal with them. That was like one of the first losses I had. Everything else has just been, I didn't draw anything. Okay, cool. Which, I mean, that happens in Magic and that's totally normal. And it happens a kind of small percentage of the time. Like that's the other cool thing about this too, is like the percentage that we are winning with this is pretty great so far. And I've liked it, 10 wins, 4 losses. That is phenomenal odds, 71% win rate. And I really feel like I can maintain that kind of standard of just like, every 10 wins have only 4 losses in the meta right now. Occasionally there's going to be some other decks that come out. I think that the matchups that beat this, so you play this until meta changes. Right now, meta is so focused on having tons of permanents out in the battlefield. And so having tons of board wipes, having these planeswalkers is just a really good way to win against most, even the control decks are trying to build up stuff. We have more planeswalkers than they will have value that sticks on the battlefield through a farewell. And so we typically can win even through long games. That's what I've noticed playing against those decks. The decks that are hard for us is going to be discard. Like I think a mono black Turgid discard type deck, or maybe a Rakdos deck that's just really good against this kind of stuff could end up being a really powerful play, and that would be really scary. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.